Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now, this is What If Deku was born in a fallout apocalypse, part 1. Now, before we begin, if you haven't checked my community tab, I put some information about this what if on my community tab. I'll explain, right now, so you don't have to go back and forth. So, all right. This series is not going to follow any Fallout timeline when it comes to the lore. So I'm going to use aspects from weapons, monsters from the different games, from the different Fallout games. So some factions might appear, some might not. It depends on who I want to add to the story from going forward. Sorry. Ooh, give me a second here. All right, we're good now. Now, I also created my own faction called the Dragons. They're a remnant of the Japanese military. And I also, created from the last part a reader group called the Banshees. I need to explain something, real fast before we begin our what if. Now, in the games, at least Fallout, the last Fallout game they released, that wasn't utter trashed like that 76 bullshit. That's yeah, no, we're not gonna talk about that. But in this what if, occasionally, I'm going to implement radiation storms. I'll from on forward, I'll be referring them as rad storms, like on just like in the game. So I just want to get that out of the way so you guys, know what a rad storm is. So it's a radiation storm. It's pretty deadly. So give me a second here, guys. Now, where I left off, Izuku, his arm was broken from muscular. So I'm going to explain a bit of the stim packs a little bit. The, a stim pack could heal Izuku. Let's say he broke his arm, so it's about a couple days recovery. After the first day, he would able to move your limbs if your arm was broken on the, let's just say it takes 2 days to fully heal from a broken arm. So, and we're gonna go through the rataways real fast. You guys really know what this is if you're familiar with the Fallout series. The rataway to get away radiation from you. So they're gonna work the same in the what if occasionally when when I need to for the story. As Izuku's walking, trying to head back to the town. It's a bit further out. It was the closest town to the raider camp. It was still a travel. So Izuku's traveling on his way back to the town as he's holding on to his right arm as it's still broken. He's already injected himself with the stim pack. It's going to take a little bit to heal. It's going to take a couple days. This is not his first arm that he's broke. As Izuku noticed, the breeze it's very windy. As he looks up to the clouds, as he noticed the clouds are not their normal color. They're like a greenish color. As Izuku, damn it, I need to find shelter fast. A rad storm. I wasn't expecting the one to show up so soon. Figured I would have a little more time than this. As Izuku bolts it as fast as he can with a broken arm. What pretty much it looks like. Except it's nighttime in the story. In this picture is like daytime, but that's pretty much a gist of what's going on right now. As Izuku approaches the abandoned town, the pre-war abandoned town that he went around the first time. As damn it, I have no choice. I have to cut through it. As Izuku didn't notice the beware sign, it had a beware as a picture of a death claw in crayon, as it's like marker or something around that lines. As he didn't really pay attention to the left side of the road when he crossed into the town. This is the this is one of the territories of one of the death claws, roaming around the wasteland. As they kind of took this they took this place over and made it into a big nest. Izuku's going through the streets as he sees bodies all around this little small town, as it's feral ghouls, as it seems like some of their body parts were ripped off. I don't have time for this. As Izuku finds the first building he found, as he luckily as he picklocked the door, as he opens it, as he closes the door. Let's see if this place has any food. As he takes out his dagger, as he scans the house that he's in. As Izuku hears some footsteps on the second floor, as he stealthily walks up the stairs, make sure he doesn't get surprised, as he sees a feral ghoul go into the opposite room. As Izuku stealthily sneaks to the room that the feral ghoul just walked out of, and as they're in opposite rooms, as Izuku leans against the doorway, so the feral ghoul doesn't see him if she ever walks past, if she ever walks past the room or walks into the room. As she takes an old little whiskey bottle that it's straight up empty. As Izuku tosses it into the hallway, as as all Izuku could hear after the sound of glass, a loud a screech noise. As Izuku hears footsteps running out of the opposite room where Izuku's hiding from. As Izuku slowly trails the feral ghoul, as he's strictly behind the feral ghoul, as he sticks his dagger into the throat, as he chops the head off, as all Izuku hears the flop of the body, as the head would roll. As will continue forward, killing any feral ghouls that he sees in the building. As luckily for Izuku, that was the only one. As Izuku found a proper place to sleep, as he sleeps for a night, as when he woke up, when he looked out the window, the storm is still raging forward. As the rad storm is still raging, as it hasn't let up. As one day turned into 3 days, 3 days turned into 5. As the storm finally let up on the 6th day. Izuku decided to spend one more night here. Then early in the morning, on the 7th day, he would go back to where he needs to go. This whole time he's been watched by the banshees. They've been in the shadows, watching him. As long as they don't get too close, Izuku won't notice them. He does have superior hearing and scent, having a feline mutation, having a Black Panther mutation. Normally, he would hear Deathclaws roaming the streets at night as he was about to head to bed, as he noticed the outside is normally extremely quiet. There's usually a couple feral ghouls roaming around, making what noise they feral ghouls make. As he looks out the window, as he sees several Deathclaws just standing in front of the house that he's at. As he sees a radiation Deathclaw. As he sees his glowing green Deathclaw pacing back and forth. Pacing back and forth. As he gives off a roar. As he points to the house. As several of the Deathclaws follow the glowing orders. As they starts to charging into the house, trying to break down the wall. As you see several Deathclaws, that's pretty much all the other Deathclaw looks like in this what if. So, as several are brashing through the house, as Ezekiel noticed that the walls are cracking on the bottom floor. As we cut back to the Enclave, the sector that the cell that Inco's in control of, the remnant of their people. There's several Enclave around the world, but she's the only one that's in Japan right now. As she was in her office doing paperwork, making sure everything's making sure everything's running as smoothly as possible. As she's hearing blaster shots. As Kirigiri comes in. Ma'am, we have a problem. What is it? Several of our people went insane and started attacking each other. We're not sure what's going on. We're also being attacked from the outside. We don't know who. Follow me, Kirigiri. Let's head to the command center. Go look at the cameras as she sees cameras from the outside, from the inside, as she sees several people exactly like this in the picture. As there's several cursors roaming the base. As all she can hear, she can't hear the audio. But as Inko sees the one in black points to certain directions as the ones in white follow the directions from the one in black. As they're following orders. Stain, immediately. Contact me immediately when you can. As she give a ring to Stain. Ma'am, you needed to speak? Yes. What's the situation on the field? We're holding our own, but we can't keep this up. We just don't have the numbers. Don't worry. I'll be releasing the sentry bots. Immediately when they show up, you are to back off and to retreat. Get all non-combatants to this location. We'll be retreating to our secondary base. Kirigiri, get the doctor and copy everything. I'll head to the mainframe and copy everything from the mainframe. Then I'll purge the system afterwards. But the doctor must have a copy of all his projects before I initiate the purge. You understand? Yes, ma'am. Move. As Inko is heading off to the server room, the master server room. This is Enclave Commander Inko. Activate security bots. Code black. As we cut to several of the sentry bots. Cut to the sentry bot room as it's a big room with several of these sentry bots, about between 20 to 30, as they all turn on, as they're all black. They have the Enclave symbol on painted on them, as they have plasma weaponry. Inko finally gets to server room as she copies everything on a Pip-Boy that she had when her days in a vault before the Enclave liberated her from her fate. This Pip-Boy has been modified into a tablet, as it's a Pit tablet, pretty much. I just don't want to have a Pip-Boy, so yeah. So it's as Inko, redesigned it into a tablet, as it downloads the information, as it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. As immediately when she got all the information from the mainframe, she purged the whole system. As she walks out, as she tosses a grenade, as she blows up the room, as she goes forward, getting some people together to raid the armory. As he goes over to Kirigiri, make sure you got everything, including the armory and our power armor. That's the last thing we need. I understood, ma'am. Stain, how's the civilians? They're doing all right, ma'am. Good. What about your son? He should be returning soon. Don't worry about him. My son has had the best training. He'll survive. No doubt about that. Can't believe the Institute have the balls to attack me directly. They've made a grave error. They've won this battle. For now. But I'll win the war. I'll eradicate them from existence. They've made a grave enemy this day. Alright, let's leave, people. As Kirigiri opens the portal, as he portals everything over, as it takes a couple trips. As everyone gets situated into the new place where they'll be living. Inko is standing. Her people are waiting for her to talk. One moment, please. As she pulls something out. As she looks at her, pulls something like a watch out. And it's about time. As we cut back to the old base, where Inko escaped from. As there was protocols in place. If the mainframe was ever purged, the EMP device will go off, and eliminating any technology in the immediate area. As the synths walk into where the device is, as they rush over to stop from it blowing up. As the device goes off, as it gives a EMP charge. The synths are somewhat affected, but they're still good. They're just limited functions at the moment. The cursors were not affected because they're a more advanced version. What's the word I'm looking for? They're a more advanced. Give me a second here. I need to pause this and think what I was going to say. Don't really remember what I was going to say, but pretty much the cursors are a more advanced machine than the normal synthetics that are here. These are only, I think they're Gen 1 synths, but I'm not totally sure on that. The white ones, not the cursors, because the cursors are on a different level than the normal synths. But there's a couple higher synths people there, as the people that Inko's people that were fighting each other was synths posing as humans in Inco's base. Enclave agents that really was synths. That the original people were captured and replaced with synths, as they were sleeper agents. As the remaining synths left nothing. They took what they could, and there was no body there. There was a pile of blue ash everywhere. Now let me explain the color difference between the Brotherhood and the Institute. The Institute they carry weaponry that shoot blue beams out. The Brotherhood shoots red, but Asashi did adapt one Institute rifle into his weaponry. That's why he shot a blue beam in Part Zero. So I just wanted to explain that, right here before I forget it. Before I forget, so I get that out of the way. So yeah. So let's continue forward. The only thing left in the base are shut down sentry bots. There was no sign the Institute was ever there, as they left. As we cut back to Izuku, as he's staring at all these death claws surrounding the house. I've lingered here way too long. Never expect to come across a death claw that actually has a brain. As he's looking around, as he notices, there's, the building next door. As it's pretty decent close. As Izuku goes up there, runs upstairs, gets in a running start as he jumps out the window, as he crashes into the opposite house. As Izuku's bursting through window, entering different houses from the second story. Deathclaws are climbing on the roof as they're jumping from rooftop to rooftop, tracking Izuku. As Izuku notices a Deathclaw getting really close to him, as he jumps down onto one of the fire escapes of the building, slide down the ladder. As the Deathclaw slams onto jumps off, lands behind Izuku. As he gives off a mighty roar, as Izuku throws something behind him as he books it, as it was a plasma grenade, as it goes off. As the Deathclaw is stunned for a second, as it goes into a sprint, charging at Izuku. Izuku turns the corner to one of the streets as he sees a bunch of hooded people wearing gas masks. I'll show you pictures. Something like this and something like this. Look what we got here, boys. Easy mark. As one of the gas masks, man or whatever they are, as one of them pull out a he was holding a what's it called? Oh, I totally forgot what it was called. Give me a second here. He pulls out a minigun as he starts firing at the Deathclaw behind Izuku. As Izuku dodged out of the way after he saw where he was aiming at. As Izuku passed these gas mask people. Be damned. Never seen anyone who was stupid enough to enter this town. Outside of us, of course. Come on, boys. Let's finish the job. You're lucky that you came across us, kid. Whoever you are, stranger. We specialize in hunting Deathclaws. But I have never would think of the Greenwood would actually be hunting you, of all people. He's a bit of a legend around these parks. I've been trying to hunt that bastard down for years. Bastard killed my father. I'll get my payback. I suggest you get out of here while you can, kid. Very well, I'll leave you to your work, sir. As Izuku runs off. Maybe that will keep him busy while I get the hell out of here. As Ezekiel was saying, yeah, he's done with this town. No, I'm done with Death Claws. Yeah, he just want to see another Death Claw. As Ezekiel noticed smoke coming from the direction where his mother's at, as he books it. As Ezekiel finally gets to the area where his mother is at, as he sees the base, the Enclave hideout in flames. As he walks in, as all he sees is the aftermath. As he goes into the computer, as nothing's working, all the technology is fried. As Ezekiel knows that this is it's one of my mom's protocols. We must have been attacked. She must have transferred everything up to the secondary base. It would have been nice if my mother told me where that was. Damn her and her little secrets. Hopefully she's alive. As Izuku gets everything together, we cut to the water tower. As you have, I'm gonna name her. I don't know what to name her. As Izuku examined some of the ash piles, Brotherhood. As Izuku has no knowledge of the institute, he's never even heard of them before. His mother has kept a lot of key details away from Izuku. As Inko wasn't even sure if the institute was even real. But considering that they attacked her and she witnessed them, yeah, she's now she's on the warpath. As you have Izuku, as he walks out, as he's thinking the Brotherhood did this, as he's like, time to hunt some Brotherhood down, get some intel. Methods torture. Izuku's pretty much thinking on this so far. As he's walking out, as there's a silver haired woman on a water tower. As she's looking in the scope at Izuku as soon as he steps out of the base. As she goes by the name Viper, as she's looking down the scope. Enclave. So that's who you work for. Interesting. This changes things. As she uncocks the bullet out, as she puts it away in one of her pouches, as she replaces it with something else, as she takes off a secondary rifle that she has, as she pulls, as she really, oh sorry, as she pulls it out, as she gets into a laying on the ground, getting into a firing stance, as she's aiming her sights on the side of Izuku's neck, as she fires. Izuku felt something puncture his neck as he pulls out this dart, as the mysterious woman, tranked his ass. The trank's a bit more advanced, so it could travel through a long distance shot. As Izuku's wobbling, he eventually sees a girl walk up to him as she's in his position. Huh, surprised you're still awake. You're tougher than you look. Sorry about this. As she hit Izuku with the back of her gun, the side of the head, knocking him out. Nighty night, Enclave. Curious I am what you look like, but I need to get you out of here, back to the boss. As Viper picks up Izuku over her shoulder, as she begins to go back to to her base. Now, the Banshees the Banshees have two separate raider group, but majority raiders don't know that yet. The Banshees decided to split their group into two separate raiders, as they both groups they both pull they share their loot and their resources. They might be separate entities, but they're still the same raider group. As she finally gets back to her base, as all our people, as everyone's questioning, don't worry about it. Things are gonna get busier. I need to make sure this one stays where he needs to be. As I'll be taking him to my personal quarters, thank you. As she puts him on the bed, as she chain him up onto the bed. As she goes to a old style radio. Um, they have a way to contact each other. Boss, I have the one you've been interested in. What? I told you to watch him, no, not capture him. But that changes things. He might be affiliated with the Enclave. What? But the Enclave has never been in his region before. We've never even seen the Enclave agent before. That's what's troubling. Apparently, where he was heading to was one of his home bases. I saw some Enclave sentry bots outside. There's most likely more inside. I suggest we take a party down there to see what we could find and some scavenge what's left. Very well. I'm on my way to you immediately. Understood. I'll see you later, Vex. As Vex turns off the two-way radio that she made contact with Viper, you lot come with me. We're going to Viper's. What's going on, ma'am? Apparently, the person I had her watch, she decided to capture him. He has some sort of affiliation with the Enclave. As majority of people don't know what the Enclave are. As don't worry, it's a old story. I'll tell you girls later. But now I'm gonna go see who she brought, who this person is exactly. I'm also a bit curious. As her team goes off to Viper's headquarters. As Vex's raider groups are called the Banshees, and Viper's group is called the Blood Banshees. As they think it's just, one of them copy each other. That's what the rest of the raiders think out in the wasteland. As we're going to stop it there, we'll go into further into detail probably tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a good night and day, judging my time zones, or wherever you are in the world. I'll catch you in the next video.